Welcome back to Toronto, Ontario for MuscleMania Canada. I'm Darren DePaz along with Daryl Gacy, our analyst for this. And when he's not doing this, he's organizing judges for competitions like this. This is the men's light heavyweight division. They are on stage. The weight category, 175 pounds, Daryl, to 200 cut pounds.
That's a lot of muscle. You can see these guys are getting bigger, introducing themselves one at a time to the judges and audience. A very, very difficult class to judge, especially the size of this class. We had to literally break them down into small groups and judge them, make the comparisons. They fill the stage with muscle.
They really do, and a lot of the competitors look very similar.
Yeah, again,
it's hard to differentiate between, you know, first, second, third, fourth, or fifth. Here's the first routine that we're going to take a look at, and it's John DePaz from Mount Hope.
Yeah, he's a kinesiology major. He's a personal trainer. You can see the use of props here. This is the first look at our props. World Natural Sport encourages the use of props in the posing routine. It just adds to the entertainment value, Darren. I think that's very important.
And that's what this is supposed to be about, not only showing off all the hard work in the gym, all the muscle that you've amassed, your physical condition, your tone, how cut you are, and how creative you can be as well. Now, he says that his motivation is completely within himself. He's a self-motivated individual, and to get in that kind of shape, you certainly have to be.
Yeah, I've had the opportunity to talk to John, too. Great person. He's a lot of fun. And he brings a good spark to the bodybuilding stage.
Yeah, because I don't care how many trainers you have and how many whips they bring to you, unless you're willing to do it yourself at some point in time, you're not going to look that good.
It's really a decision. It's a commitment to change, and that's what these guys are doing. For a lot of them, it's their first time ever competing. Novices, it's open to anyone.
Look at the size of his legs, too. Are the legs, because they clearly jump out at you, the legs a little disproportionate?
No, his legs are big. His chest is thick. I'd like to see him bring down the waist a little bit. If he could just drop a couple extra pounds of fat and water there, he would have been razor, razor sharp.
Still, he looks to be in phenomenal shape.
Yeah, he's got a lot of crowd favorites, too. You can hear them.
On to our next competitor now. It's Rich Wavering, and he's from Kentucky.
Using a very, very deep choice of music here.
I've noticed, too, a lot of the competitors like to start with the back pose.
A lot of them like to hit their first or favorite pose that's going to really catch the audience's attention and keep them on track. It's tough to display your physique in its finest form and try to hide your weak points while still emphasizing your strengths.
Especially when you consider you got 90 seconds to do it.
Exactly, not too much time. A lot of things going through your head up there when you're doing that. Not to mention that your diet's been haywire.
Now you talk about the diet. Explain a little bit. I've never competed. I've tried to lose weight at times. I've changed my diet. But what the rigid structure that these guys go through to get themselves into shape to compete in a competition, just expand on that for a bit.
Oh, geez, the intensity, that's a whole topic. They're into high quantities of protein, eating every 2 or 3 hours for a lot of these guys. It involves a lot of preparation ahead of time, a close look at their calories, their cardiovascular work to keep that level of shape. And you can see from his abs that he's really closely monitored his diet.
And don't things all start with your center, though, with your abs, though? Doesn't that generally lend itself to the competition? The better abs, the better you look. Here's Ted Lawler.
Yeah, again on the abs, there's certainly a focal point. Ted Lawler has great abdominal development, super oblique development, which are those vertical muscles. You can see them look like piano keys up the sides. Serratus, he's in very, very tight condition. He's a little bit tighter than his former John DePaz there, but he doesn't display the same level of muscularity. If you bring that up, a super razor-sharp condition, though, and a good, clean, natural physique.
It's a fine line, though, isn't it?
It is a fine line. Some of these guys sacrifice the muscle for the conditioning. The idea is if you can bring it in together in a balance and harmony of muscle and condition, you've really impressed the judges and it'll show in your placements.
But that's something that's learned, too. By going through each competition, you learn when to peak at the right time so that you're coordinating both efforts.
Exactly, exactly. We mentioned those practice events earlier too. It's a super chance for these guys to come out and really fine-tune their diet and their training. Look at that lower back. He is in great condition.
Now he's from Winnipeg, Manitoba, and Ted also happens to be a personal trainer.
Ted talked to me before the show. He wasn't even certain he even wanted to compete in this. He came prepared to compete, but he thought his condition was a little off, and we talked to Ted and we said, you know what? Jump up there and give it a go.
Now he's a former middleweight too, who has now moved up to the light heavyweight division. Now he came in third place here last year. Afterwards we got a chance to talk to him about his preparation for this year.
Ted Lawler was our 1999 MuscleMania middleweight champion. He came in third place in this contest last year. He's definitely in strong contention this evening of the high placing here tonight. What are your thoughts, and where do you go from here, Ted?
I definitely feel very good this year. I've worked hard this year, figured out some things that work for myself. After this, I'm just going to wait and see how I place and hopefully go to the Worlds and keep competing in the MuscleMania contest. I really enjoy them.
And the judges certainly enjoyed his routine as well. As Ted Lawler wins this category, he moves on to the overall championship and a shot at that Suzuki motorbike. Now, earlier the juniors hit the stage. You have to be 21 years of age or under, and there are only 3 competitors in this category. A lot of young guys go out there and clang the weights, but it's tough to be dedicated to your sport when you are that young. You got so many other things on the go. But obviously, these young men have a pretty good base and a pretty good start to bodybuilding.
Yeah, they have to know where they're going. If that young, their friends are out and they're hitting the gym. There's Sean Everingham, the winner of the junior division. He came out to one of the practice events with the WNSO, and it really shows.
Yeah, clearly practice has paid off for him. Still ahead, the women's heavyweight class will take to the stage.